What if I told you the Puerto Rican paradise trip that was supposed to save friendships just turned into the slap heard around reality TV? Oh yes, family. Rumors are exploding that young Jock laid hands on Rasheeda in front of Kirk and the entire Love and hip-hop crew. The ocean waves weren't the only thing crashing that night. Respect, loyalty, and common sense drowned right along with them. So tell me, did Jock really risk it all for a petty argument? Or is this just another reality TV stunk on nuclear? Buckle up, because this scandal is messy. Puerto Rico. Sun, sand, palm trees, and apparently a front row seat to the most chaotic love and hip-hop Atlanta explosion we've seen in years. Forget the mojitos and sunset selfies. This trip went from paradise to pure madness in a matter of seconds. And at the center of it all, none other than young Jock, Rasheeda, and Kirk, the holy trinity of drama, scandal, and now, possibly, assault. See, Jock has always been that wild card. The man who could turn a family dinner into a fistfight with just one sarcastic laugh. But this wasn't just playful shade or typical reality TV yelling. According to whispers online, Jock allegedly slapped Rasheeda. Yeah, you heard that right. A slap. In front of Kirk, in front of cameras, in front of the world. And the internet did what it does best. It detonated. Now, let's back up for a second. This isn't the first time Jock's temper has made headlines. Remember that messy cheating scandal? The one where screenshots of his late-night studio sessions mysteriously popped up on social media? Or how about that time he practically hosted a circus on his Instagram Live, spilling secrets like he was auditioning for TMZ? Jock has a reputation, and it's not exactly Mr. Respectful Gentleman of the Year. So when fans heard that he might have crossed the line with Rasheeda, nobody was shocked. Outraged? Yes. But shocked? Not at all. And let's not act like Rasheeda's name is drama-free. She's been holding her ground in this franchise for years, fighting off rumors about her marriage, standing toe-to-toe with Kirk through his countless scandals, and somehow managing to look flawless while doing it. But this was a whole different battlefield. She wasn't sparring with trolls on Twitter or clapping back at messy exes. She was allegedly humiliated in the middle of paradise, blindsided by a man she once called a friend. Now, picture it. The group gathered around a dinner table, waves crashing, champagne glasses clinking, producers probably salivating behind the cameras, when suddenly, voices rise. Jock's sarcasm sharpens, Kirk leans in, and Rasheeda pushes back. Then comes that moment, the alleged slap. Some say it was quick, almost shocking in its speed. Others swear Jock's face told the whole story before his hand even moved. One witness, who conveniently doesn't want to be named, claimed, "It wasn't no accident." Jock snapped, and we all froze. Kirk, usually the king of "let's just calm down," apparently wasn't calm this time. Nope. Reports say he exploded like a man who just watched his entire marriage get disrespected on international TV. He allegedly stood up, slammed his hand against the table, and shouted something fans are now quoting like scripture. "You think this is a game? You think you can just put your hands on my wife?" Paradise, ladies and gentlemen, officially destroyed. And of course, the internet is having a field day. Hashtags like #Slapgate and #Puerto Rico drama are trending. TikTok detectives are breaking down slow-motion footage of Jock's hand like it's the Zapruder film, and Twitter threads are filled with fans screaming, "Nah, Jock's cancelled after this." Others, however, claim it's just editing magic. VH1B splicing footage like it's Inception, one fan tweeted. But whether it was real, fake, or somewhere in between, the damage is done. The Puerto Rico trip that was supposed to heal old wounds has just created the biggest scar in love and hip-hop history. And trust me, boss, this is just the beginning, because if you thought a slap was the climax, wait until you hear what went down the very next day. The very next day, Puerto Rico woke up not to the sound of roosters or the waves, but to whispers echoing through the resort hallways. Did Jock really slap Rasheeda? Forget morning yoga and mimosa brunches. This trip turned into a full-blown crime scene investigation. Anonymous sources, read, probably the bartender, who is 2 margaritas deep, swore they saw Jock pacing the resort halls like a man rehearsing excuses. Others claimed producers were scrambling, pulling receipts from multiple camera angles like they were FBI agents cracking open the Watergate tapes. And then came the leaked incident report. Oh yes, family, supposedly. One crew member logged the altercation in writing, describing it as a physical exchange that left talent visibly shaken. Translation: Jock might have just landed himself in the VH1 Hall of Shame. And while the cast tried to hide behind sunglasses and fake smiles, social media was already having a meltdown. Twitter looked like WrestleMania. One fan posted, "If Jock really slapped Rasheeda, he better slap some sense into himself too." Another wrote, "Editing or not, Kirk's face said it all. That wasn't acting." Meanwhile, TikTok detectives were freeze-framing the dinner footage like it was an episode of CSI. They zoomed, slowed, analyzed every frame, and half of them swore they saw contact. The other half? Convinced producers added a sound effect to sell drama. But here's where it gets darker. Allegedly, Jock's wife Kendra got a call before she even stepped foot on the island. And let's just say, sis wasn't happy. Imagine finding out your man is trending worldwide under the hashtag #Slapgate before you even unpack your bikini. Reports claim she stormed into Puerto Rico ready to collect her husband like unpaid rent. And cameras? Oh, you know they captured every second. Meanwhile, Kirk wasn't cooling down. If anything, he was running hotter. Insiders said he called an emergency sit-down with producers, demanding Jock face consequences. One alleged quote from Kirk, "I don't care if it's good TV. Disrespecting my wife is not a storyline."
Phew.
When even Kirk, Mr. "Let's talk this out in a confessional," snaps, you know it's serious. And let's talk about Rasheeda. Fans noticed she went quiet. Not the clapback queen, not the unbothered boss chick, just quiet. Behind those oversized sunglasses, people said you could see the storm brewing. A blogger who just happened to be at the resort wrote, "She wasn't just angry, she was hurt. Betrayal hit her harder than that slap ever could." Now that's a headline. But wait, because Puerto Rico didn't stop there. Rumors started swirling that production had to increase security.
Why?
Because Kirk allegedly threatened to handle it off camera if Jock didn't apologize. Imagine that, Puerto Rico turning from a vacation backdrop into the set of a VH1 cage fight. Of course, the network isn't dumb. They see ratings gold when it slaps them in the face, literally. Allegedly, execs were already editing teaser trailers before the trip even ended. One insider claimed, "They're milking this. Ads, promos, sneak peeks, it's all about the slap." By nightfall, the cast couldn't even sit at the same dinner table. Jock rolled in late, cracking corny jokes no one laughed at, while Kirk's silence was scarier than any outburst. Rasheeda? Poised but cold. Kendra? Ready to erupt like a volcano. Scrappy tried to lighten the mood with jokes about keeping hands to yourself, but it landed flatter than Jock's excuses. And here's the kicker. Family. This wasn't just reality TV anymore. It was war. Friendships fractured, marriages tested, alliances shattered. Puerto Rico became ground zero for the biggest scandal in love and hip-hop Atlanta history. And if you thought day 2 was messy, wait until you see how this blew up once Kendra finally confronted Jock face-to-face. And then it happened, the moment everyone had been waiting for. Kendra finally arrived in Puerto Rico, heels clicking against the resort floor like warning shots, sunglasses on, lips pressed tight. Cameras swarmed her like she was the FBI, and trust me, she didn't waste a single second. She marched straight to Jock, grabbed his arm, and hissed, "So this is what I hear while I'm gone? You embarrassing me worldwide." Jock, of course, tried to laugh it off. "Babe, they blowing it up. It wasn't like that." But Kendra wasn't having it. She cut him off sharper than a lawyer in cross-examination. "Don't babe me. You slapped respect out of your own reputation. You slapped our marriage into TMZ headlines. Do you even realize how bad this looks?" The cast sat frozen, forks midair. Kirk was practically vibrating with rage. Rasheeda's face said everything without a word, and Scrappy looked like he was ready to crawl under the table. Even the producers didn't dare intervene. This wasn't just a confrontation, it was a public execution of Jock's pride. But it didn't stop there. Rumors say a confidential incident report was filed with network lawyers. Translation? Jock might not just be fighting Kirk's fury and Kendra's wrath. He could be staring down a lawsuit. Imagine that headline. VH1 investigates on-set assault. Jock in hot water. And the internet?
Phew.
If you thought hashtags were wild yesterday, today was straight chaos. Memes of Jock dodging Kendra's glare flooded Twitter. TikTok edits spliced dramatic music over Rasheeda's reaction. Fans were split into armies. Team Rasheeda demanding Jock's cancellation and Team Jock screaming about editing tricks. One viral post read, "Even if it was editing, Kendra's reaction was too real. You can't fake that." By the third night, Puerto Rico felt less like a vacation and more like a courtroom. Kirk and Rasheeda held balcony talks about cutting Jock off for good. Kendra gave Jock an ultimatum that fans are already dubbing the divorce speech. And producers? They doubled down, setting up a forced group dinner to air it all out. Classic VH1, right? Dinner started awkward, with Jock mumbling something that almost sounded like an apology. Rasheeda, still calm but visibly hurt, told him flat out, "Intent don't erase impact. You disrespected me and you disrespected my husband. That doesn't just go away." Kirk slammed his hand on the table, again growling, "Words don't fix actions." And then Kendra delivered the line that broke the internet. "Enough, Jock. You either own it, apologize without excuses and make this right, or you lose more than just friends. You lose me." The table went silent. Jock's shoulders slumped. Finally, he muttered, "I'm sorry, R.A. I'm sorry, Kirk. I messed up. I can't take it back, but I want to fix it." The apology? Half the cast looked skeptical. Fans online roasted him. That wasn't an apology. That was survival. Another tweet said, "Kendra wrote that speech for him, bet." And honestly, they might be right. When the cameras cut, what was left was a broken circle of friends, a shaken marriage, and a scandal that will forever haunt love and hip-hop Atlanta. Puerto Rico wasn't remembered for its beaches or sunsets. It was remembered for #Slapgate, the slap, the explosion, and the fallout that fans will replay for years. And family, trust me, this isn't the end. This is just the first domino in a storyline that's about to redefine the show forever.